we take the test, so hopefully it doesn't confuse you too much. All right, so your antigen-presenting cell has this MHC class II marker on the surface. It is what is carrying the antigen. Okay? It presents it to a T cell. And what type of T cell is that? The T cell? What kind of T cell? The helper cells, right? The T helper cell. So. Okay, so. Because it has its own little receptor on the surface. So I'll just use this as a T cell receptor. But essentially, you know, they interact. Okay? So that is your antigen-presenting cell presents it to the T helper cell. Okay.
There's great little animations on the website that came with the book about all of
and that's what, yeah, and that's really probably the best thing to really visualize it. I'm not going to be asking, you know, all the steps and, you know, but essentially, you know, this help. And what is the function of the cell? Essentially, the T helper. Why is it called a helper cell? Because what is it? What's its main job?
It activates them.
Right, it activates these cells. I mean, because its main job is to produce cytokines. Okay, it produces. I'm going to use a different markers. High off this. It says non-toxic, but I'm like, dear Lord, it says like. Its main job is it produces cytokines. And remember, cytokines are like the hormones of the immune system. Okay, there's a whole slew of different cytokines. We're not going to go into every single one of them. And by producing cytokines, it activates these guys. Okay, it helps activate, and there's a whole bunch of different. You know, these produce their own kind of cytokines that stimulate this. This produces cytokines that produce this. But it's a helper cell. Because does this directly kill cells? No, it just helps everybody else do it. Okay, like your B cells, macrophage, dendritic cells, and you know. So that's its main job. So that's why it's called a helper. It doesn't actually do anything really other than this. Okay. Then you have, of course, what other type of T cell do you have? Cytotoxic. Right, the cytotoxic cell. And the cytotoxic cell, okay, I'll just have a different marker now. Okay. And if you can recall the MHC class II, right, with you put the cross, the 2 with the cross as a helper, see? So that can help you remember. All right. And then you have the other type is the cytotoxic, right? You should be up here smelling this stuff. I'm like, what is in this stuff? They say non-toxic now, but who knows? 5 years or 10 years from now, they go, ooh, actually, it was toxic. That always makes sense. So your T cytotoxic cell recognizes what? MHC class 1. Okay. So here's MHC class 1 now. It's a different marker. I guess I should color it differently. A different color. So, you know, it's got a class 2 marker on it. Okay. There's a little antigen in here. Okay, so there's your class.
Class 1.
Yeah, 1. Thank you. I know it's 1. I do. I should not talk and draw at the same time. Let me see class 1. Okay. So let me see class 1, okay, your T cytotoxic cell. Now, what kind of cell is this?
Any cell.
All cells, essentially. Okay, so this is your target cell, which is essentially all cells. You got a nucleus, okay, you got some DNA, you're going to have class 1. Because this helps you understand, okay, what we just covered with the immune system, the specific immune system. But next chapter, which isn't on your test, chapter 19, you know, this is still going to be somewhat important, right? Because when we start talking about transplants and things, and these little markers, this is what they're trying to match up with people. When you're trying to do transplants with one another, you know, donors and recipients, and you know, maybe you've heard of tissue typing and people asking, you know, they want, you know, maybe they're trying to recruit people for a donor registry. Okay, they want to make sure that people match in their MHCs. You know, that because these are essentially, if you have, and there's different types of MHCs. Class 1s and 2s are different types. Okay, So one person is going to have different ones than another person. So when they do like tissue typing, they're trying to match up as many of these as they can, because otherwise this would be considered foreign. It's like how a red blood cell, like an A person, a type A blood person, you wouldn't give, right, to a type B person because they don't match. So essentially with these markers, they have to do the same thing. Okay. So yes, what their job is to present antigen to your T cells, cytotoxic or helper cells. But again, these given to somebody that they're not related to, they may not match. So that's why you have a twin, that'd be great. So anyway, so again, target cells, and these are like virally infected cells, cancer cells.